that's the timing chain completed, running well. I'm really happy with that. Next thing is to put all the body panels back on. So the first thing we need to do is, like you say, I've got all these panels to put in. So it's the panels here, headlights, wheel arch, bumper, front grille, all needs to go in. So the first thing I need to put in is this piece here, which is the bracket to hold the headlight in, or part of the bracket to hold the headlight in. So this just fits on here. So if you have a look on the back of this, you have a little slot that fits into this here, like so, and then the rest of it screws down. Now when I take these things off, what I tend to do is take the bolts out and then put the bolts back into the holes that they came from. That way I can't lose anything. I've just taken this bolt out of here, so this bolt goes in here, so I can't lose any. So all the bolts that I've taken out, all the bits and pieces, I've put them all back in, yeah, so none of them are lost. Now there are some that are here, but they're the ones that bolt through or up from underneath. So that's it. So I'm just going to get this panel put back on here, and then we're going to have a look at putting the front bumper, this corner part of the bumper on here. So let's start with this, shall we? So let's take the bolts out, nuts and bolts. That's the last one. So I've cleared all the bolts out. So like I said, just key that piece back into this part here, hold it in the right place, like so. And most of the nuts and bolts that are used for this part of the panelling is generally 10mm. Okay, that's that bit in. So now we're going to look at putting this part of the bumper on. So this is the corner part of the bumper. Now on the back, on the side here, this goes onto the arch. You have these little clips in, so this will hold in place before you put your nuts and bolts in to hold it in firmly. So you've got these little clips here as well, so they go across the top here. So if you put the bottom corner in at the front, lift this front edge and keep this side out first, and then once that bit's in, we can then, I'll bring you round, so we can then see these little clips in, and there's just little clips down. I'm not sure if you can see. I'll put a light on, might be able to see the little clips back there. So this will hold it in place. So you put the front edge in, and then this needs to be pushed round and clipped in. So the key to this is making sure it lines up, pull it round because it needs to go in like so. Once it's in, then That's it, it's clipped in. So the clips are in here, the clips are in here. It's actually quite sturdy as it is. So we just need to put the bolts in to hold it in place. So, yeah. So these are T30s, and they just screw in to here. Need my extension bar. Looking at this one I probably have to come back out. I've got a feeling this also helps hold on the front grille, but I'll hold it in for now so I can just pull the bottom in and get the bolts in the bottom there. So like I say, I always put the bolts in. I'll take that out, bring that back across, put that in loosely because I'm not 100% certain. I can't remember. There's a panel that goes in here that screws into this. I can't remember whether it goes up underneath this or it's shaped to go around it. So I'll just put that in loosely and we'll have a look in a moment. That's that. And then there's another one that goes in back here. Again, the front grille screws in across the bottom here. I think that one's alright, but I'll wait until I get the front grille in. So that's the bumper on. So we've got the first part of the bumper, which is also part of the grille as well. So you've got all your fixings down the front here, and as I've said, I'll just put this over here. I need to take out all of these bolts that I've put in, so I can put this back in. So let me get, I'll be with you in a second. So here we go. So I've got all the bolts out. So we start with this coming into the bottom. Now there are some guide lugs on the back here on the other side which will line it up properly so you can't get it wrong. Bit fiddly this. So that's it, that's that lining up all nicely. So we've got all the bolts down the edge here, got one in the middle, the 3 or the 4 up the side there, and then we've got 8 across the top and 4 across the bottom. So there is one that goes through both the bumper and the front grille, and they've got 2 on the front edge here as well as underneath. So I'll start getting these in. I just do them hand tight. So I've just got to show you this bit. So if you have a look here, they've got these little clips. Now these clips pull out. I don't know if you can see, but these in these holes here, they were these little clips. Now these little clips end up getting stuck in these little bits here. Okay, so I've just gone round pulling them out with a pair of long nose pliers, and what they do is that they go into this section here. You can see where I've pulled it off, it's just pulled it out, and they just slide back in. Try and be careful, try and do this one-handed, like so. So it'd be a good idea just to check that they are out before you put this back in, otherwise you're going to have a nightmare trying to get it to line up. Okay, so these are the clips to hold it in place before you bolt it. I seem to have seems to be just one clip missing, so I'm going to have a look on here and see if I can see any. No, so there must have been one missing on the van anyway. So there you are, so we've got 3 this side. Oh, excuse me. Right, I've got 3 this side, 4 across the bottom, and there's 4 outside, so there's just the one missing here, and then we've got the bolt holes across the top here. I didn't do these ones up yet because I couldn't remember what bolts I had to leave out to get the front grille on. So looking at it, it's the 2 inside ones, so there's 4, but there's the 2 inside ones that need to be done up prior to the grille going on, otherwise you can't get them because it covers over them. I'm just going to go around tighten them up. So we're up to the point of putting the lights in. So again, if we have a look at this section here, this slides in to a piece that keys into here, that holds that edge down, and then there's a bolt that goes up here and the bolt that here. Also another key here. So again, like I say, start from inside and then just pull it back. So that's locked in. So the key here and the key here are all locked in, and then we just put the top bolt in, which is like this. Okay, you can either put a socket on it or a T30. And then on the back, I love hitting my head on this, it's just glorious every single time. We have these plugs. I'll bring you a bit closer, you can watch me put it on. Put the light on. My light today isn't really playing ball. So that, and all that does is push on, and this grey clip should clip back. Patient with it, do not force it. Here we go, and then that clip, grey clip, goes back, and that's the light in. last bit is to put the wheel arch. So there's the bottom tray that it joins to the wheel arch, and then this is the wheel arch that goes in like that. So there's only a few screws that hold it in, and then the last bit of trimmings. So we've got the wheel arch, we've got to put the wheel arch in place. So there's a little bolt up here, or it goes over it, and then it has this little tiny plastic nut, which I'm sure is never in good condition. So this piece here goes straight up onto that bolt up there, and then you tuck the outer edge behind here like so. So you line that up. It's a bit difficult because you can't see. So once that's in, the best thing to do probably is to get this nut back on at the top here, this plastic one, which is about as much use as a chocolate teapot in the middle of the Sahara Desert. It really is no use. But I'm hoping it'll hold it in place. I would have replaced it, but it's not just the nut that's the issue. It's the bolt as well is rusted so much that it's just chewed the nut to pieces. It won't do up, but it will go on to a certain point like that. There we go. So that's in, and then this just tucks in behind there, like so. Screw lines up here, screw lines up here, screw lines up here. So I just put this middle screw in to hold this in place. Now we do have a panel, piece of external trim here that goes on the outside here and goes through there as well. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to put it on to hold it on for the minute. Although actually I might. Now these are a pain. I've had to replace one of these in the past. Some little holes for them to push into. Once they're pushed in, there. Then we get this. And hopefully get this in there. That's going to hold that on, that's going to hold that in place. So we've got a top one there and the bottom one here. Not going to put them in just yet, and like I say, that nut at the top is not working. So but then we've got this bottom section here that bolts in for the bottom, which I'll take you underneath in a minute. So we've got one bolt hole there, one, I don't know if you can see, one here, and then the front edge is held on by bolts across the bottom over here, which I'll get round to. So I need to find the bolt hole for this. There. Actually, I think that's a screw, not a bolt, so I need to get underneath and have a look. I know there is one bolt on the back edge. Let's get underneath. Now I would say my favourite place, but I'll be lying. So there's the bolt. I think it's a 14mm, and then this section here. Get this bolting to hold this in place, this end. Just very gently and loosely do that. And then here there is a screw. Sorry. So much easier if you have a garage with a vehicle lifting. I don't have one of them. I have a driveway. There. So that's holding that in place. It's not very sturdy at the minute, but I do need to do you up. I'll come back down to you. That nice new oil filter. Sparkling. Won't be for long. Now, let's get, as I'm down here, I can see and line up that like so. You have to be really careful with a drill. You can't see what I'm doing. Let's get it. There we go. You have to be careful with these with a drill. I'm not going to get a drill in there. No, I'm not. Right. Because the spring on the back, the bit that the screw goes into, if you're doing them up too fast or they've got a little bit of rust on them, he grabs hold of them and spins them off the back of the plastic. So, excellent. That's all in place. So now I need to just put these screws across the front edge to hold the front edge in. Oh, things I do. Realistically, it'd be a good idea if I was wearing safety glasses, because getting the muck in your eyes from this stuff isn't funny. Oh, I've got two screws. One to go in here. One to go in here. There, like that. Oh, that's it. Just need that one back, that bolt turn up back there, and then put the screws in around the archway. And there. That's that. Now you would have thought that would have lined up with the back of that, but it doesn't in the slightest. Isn't very good. Now I'm sure it was supposed to. That lines up with there. That doesn't even line up with that in the slightest. But I do know for a fact that when I was taking it apart, that most definitely was not there. Now, and also with these, I have to find some other screws. They've obviously vibrated out as we've been driving along, so I just got a few more. I put some extra ones across the bottom because this panel had a tendency of coming off for some reason. So here we go. That's the inner arch in. Put some new screws on here, like so. And that bolt that's under here, there. That was a 15mm, not a 14mm. So that's that. Time for the wheel to go back on. Done. Bit dirty, needs a wash. I'm not scared. I can deal with that. What a job. What a job. A job well done. I would say I enjoyed that, but I'd be lying. The job was made easy by this. To hold the main crank, 2 pins to hold the cams, and this to hold the flywheel. Great. Well, thanks for your patience. Please bear in mind, I'm no mechanic. Whew, sweating like a pig. So, disclaimer is, I don't know what I'm doing. There you go. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. I'm sure you're going to. And I'll see you next time. Take it easy. Bye bye.